Okay. Well, welcome everybody, and welcome to our BikeMS Navigating DonorDrive and Virtual Fundraising Tips webinar. We are so excited to introduce the brand new fundraising software, complete with amazing new tools. Thank you guys for taking the time to learn more about how to make an impact in the fight against multiple sclerosis. Of course, as always, before we get started, we wanted to quickly share some best practices for GoToMeeting. To make today's meeting the best experience for everyone, please remember to stay on mute unless you're talking. Look for that mute icon. Be on camera. It adds to the quality of our conversation. And if you'd like, interact in the chat box. We will be monitoring that throughout the presentation. To begin, we wanted to take a moment to introduce you to our BikeMS staff team. I'm Cole Eddings. I'm a coordinator for BikeMS Historic New Bern, sitting in Raleigh, North Carolina. Joining me today is Rachel Castelli, specialist for BikeMS Tour to Tanglewood, and Sammy Amons, senior manager for BikeMS in the Carolinas. Welcome, everybody. Now,
Thank you.
Of course. Now, covering our agenda today, we will be going over the BikeMS Inside Out experience, what to expect on event weekend, an overview of this new software called DonorDrive that you guys have probably been hearing a lot about, how to activate your Facebook fundraiser, some virtual fundraising tips in our new virtual fundraising space, and some questions that you guys may have. Now, many of you guys have been asking, what is BikeMS Inside Out? What should I prepare for on September 26th? Now, while we can't join together for our Carolinas events that are so near and dear to our hearts, BikeMS Inside Out is the first ever nationwide BikeMS event that lets you build your own adventure. You can choose the mileage that's right for you and interact with us on Strava and Zwift. There's no cost to participate in the virtual experience, nor a fundraising minimum, so really the sky is the limit. No matter how you choose to ride, you can connect to our interactive features of the day, including a live opening ceremony showcasing our local rides, photos of you awesome cyclists, mission moments, and more. Route options will be provided through Strava and Zwift, and we'll be going over that a little bit more in the next slide. Fundraising challenges with our national leaderboard, showing fundraising in real time as you ride throughout the day. Fun moments, including a virtual scavenger hunt with questions like the wildest animal that you see on your route or your favorite rest stop snack. Personally, mine is pickles. A virtual jersey competition, including 2 awards, a People's Choice where you vote and a mission moment where we vote. Now, let's take a little bit deeper look at the applications that we are partnering with. Strava is a route and mileage tracking app that uses GPS from your phone or a paired device like an Apple Watch or Garmin. You can track activity, connect with friends and teammates, and explore various route options. Strava is used primarily for cyclists who are planning to ride outside for BikeMS Inside Out. And if you plan to use Strava, you can tune into the streaming content on the BikeMS Inside Out landing page. Once your ride is completed, you can upload your ride to the leaderboard and interact with other cyclists who are part of the club. Strava will have distance options of 20, 40, and 60 miles. Now, Zwift is a virtual experience app that allows cyclists from all over the world to participate in rides together, no matter where they are. Cyclists ride via an avatar and can communicate with other cyclists on the course. Zwift is best compatible with a smart trainer or trainer that transmits data via Bluetooth to a paired device. In order to watch the live stream and ride with Zwift, 2 devices will be required. On BikeMS Inside Out Day, there will be a special BikeMS kit for cyclists participating in the ride and available to you on the app forever after you complete the event. Zwift will have timed rides, including options of 45, 90 minutes, or 3 hours. Now, what is BikeMS Inside Out? We will be hosting a national kickoff celebration on September 22nd to build excitement for BikeMS Inside Out. Each of you will receive your own virtual writing packet that will contain various resources. So now all you need to do is choose the plan for you to do on September 26th, whether you will be writing inside or out, joining us for the live stream on the Bike MS Inside Out landing page. And we really want you to challenge yourself, just like you would in our in-person events. People living with MS are faced with challenges each and every day. Now let's think of them when we hop on a bike. Now, the moment you guys have all been waiting for, we are going to do a deep dive into DonorDrive, and hopefully this will answer a lot of questions that you guys have been having surrounding our new software. So we've been working with a lot of you to get you transitioned to our brand new fundraising platform. If you guys have joined this call, then congratulations, you have already transitioned. But if you've logged in and checked it out, I think that you guys have seen that there have been some major improvements and that it's also super user-friendly. To get started, on the screen that you see, the black toolbar at the top of the screen is the most important. That'll take you to all the places needed for a successful fundraising year. To edit features on your personal site, you'll want to select your page. And we'll be going through each of these sections more in depth moving forward. Now, if you're a team captain, you can edit your team page by selecting team page. The dashboard section will show your Bike MS stats, and you can connect to your Facebook fundraiser, which is highly suggested. The donations page is exactly how it sounds. Look at all the donations received thus far, or make a donation to yourself or a friend. The messages section is how to compose an email to your potential donors and send a thank you for a donation. And last, but certainly not least, is the resources page that has helpful tools that will again make you very successful in your fundraising endeavors. Okay, so starting out with your page. So I clicked, it got cut off here, but it's the your page icon right here in the top, if you guys can see that. Now, this is what my page looks like when I first click on it. It will take you to this portion of the website. Here you can adjust your fundraising goals, start a live stream, customize your profile picture, and share your personal story, as well as a few other exciting features that we'll dive into. Now, to make any changes, I want you guys to look for the pencil icon to customize your page. You can see here that you have the ability to update your profile picture, which is highly suggested so that donors are able to find you easily. You can also click that pencil icon to update your fundraising goal if you guys passed your original goal and want to continue fundraising. We are very excited to introduce our new streaming capabilities, which you see here at the bottom. If you click the Add Stream button, it will allow you to either link your YouTube or Twitch account to your profile so that you can share updates with your donors in real time. A great use of this may be announcing a raffle winner, completing a crazy challenge like dyeing your hair orange, or anything else that you guys want to share in real time. There is a guide on the website if you are interested in learning more about this feature. So if you just click that Add Stream button, it does have a step-by-step tutorial on how to link. Now, please note that you do need a Twitch or YouTube profile set up in advance to utilize this feature. Now, scrolling down, we are going to be talking about donor incentives and sharing your personal story. So as you can see, this is right below where we just left off. And I first want to focus on sharing your personal story. This is highly recommended in making an impactful statement towards your donors. You want to be sharing why you ride, how MS has impacted your life, and how they can contribute to your cause to end the fight against multiple sclerosis. We do have a couple of sample stories, but we do suggest that you share your own story so that you can connect with donors as to why you're riding. Now, diving in to our incentive section. This is a snippet from Sammy Amon's page because I just loved her incentive ideas so much. And this is how she chose to motivate her donors. So if you saw the button on this previous slide, let's go back. Whoop. So the incentive section right here is where we're going to go. So you just click the Add Incentive, and then it'll look like this. So this is where you can get really creative in your approach for specific donations. We want you guys to be thinking big. So you'll see here that Sammy has a donation incentive for $100 to hand deliver your favorite case of beer to your house. Talk about service, am I right? And for $250, she will take you on a date. Her and the donor gets to select the restaurant of their choosing. Sorry about that. We're getting a little bit of feedback. So I am quickly going to mute everybody, and you will just have to unmute yourself whenever you guys are ready to ask a question. So if you guys have any other creative incentives, feel free to drop them in the chat box, but this is such a great thing. This shows up whenever people are trying to contribute to your page. They can go ahead and click this button and it'll pre-populate a donation amount. Now, moving on to another great feature is our milestones. So this is on the same page, your profile that you can add this on. And this helps to celebrate progress on your way to your fundraising goal. Your donors can see your milestones, so it can incentivize them to take you to a new fundraising level. Now, these are two of my favorite features, but of course you guys have the capability, as we said before, to really customize your page to the max. Post your personal story, your fundraising link, and a photo of yourself on your fundraising page, and so much more. Now, before we move on, that was a lot of information, so I want to take a quick temperature check and see if anybody has any questions about what we just covered. And you will have to unmute yourself to ask a question, I believe. Okay, great. I'm so glad that you guys are all pros already. I'm so excited to be working with you guys.
Hey, Cole.
Yeah.
Okay, I just have a quick question. So the milestones will show up on your first page, homepage, right? For your own.
Yes,
right.
They will. Okay. Awesome. So before we move on, we are going to be going over how to connect your Facebook fundraiser. Now, I am a big proponent of fundraising on social media. This is a super important step, especially in our virtual world. And I wanted to share that each Facebook fundraiser on average raises $150. So this is a great way to connect your donors. So all you have to do is click on the Connect Facebook Fundraiser to get started. Now, please note that if you've connected your Facebook fundraiser on our old platform, you will need to complete this step again to ensure that an active fundraiser has been shared. So really quickly, I'm going to switch over and we're going to do this in real time because I have not connected mine yet. Give me 1 second. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Awesome. Are you guys able to see that okay? Okay, awesome. So I'm going to go over to my dashboard. And this, right off the bat, it has create a Facebook fundraiser. So I click on that. And if you click this, it will share it automatically. So all I have to do is click Create Facebook Fundraiser. Continue as me. If you're logged in on your browser, it should pre-populate. Otherwise, you'll just have to log in at this step. So you click OK. Perfect. Now, it's just that simple. That's all you have to do. So we can go ahead and click View Facebook Fundraiser. And it should load up for us. Perfect. So I want to take a couple of quick seconds and talk about how exciting this feature is. I love to talk about Facebook fundraisers. They're my favorite thing. But you can see here that you can customize this picture, maybe with a picture of your team, you on your bike, anything of that nature. You can customize your fundraising goal. Now, if you do update it on the DonorDrive platform, it will update to Facebook as well. Now, you can also change this about section. So you can add your personal story here and all that good stuff. Now, as a donor, they may see this tab. This will have suggested donations. It'll have a little bit more about the National MS Society, as well as the activity page. So this just said that I shared my Facebook fundraiser. Now, say I wanted to post an update. You scroll up to the top of the bar right here, just like you would enter a status update, anything like that. And I highly recommend engaging with your donors this way. It's a great way to share your fundraising progress, any challenges, things of that nature. And you can also shout out people that have donated to your campaign. Now, if you do receive donations on Facebook fundraisers, which you definitely will, they will show up on your fundraising profile as Facebook fundraiser donation. It will not actually have their name. So definitely keep that in mind, that if you do want to thank somebody, I highly recommend doing it on Facebook. Do we have any questions regarding that?
Yes. Well, I got one today and I looked at it, online on the computer, and I thanked the person, but I don't know who I'm thanking. So do I have to go into Facebook then? And how do I find out who it was?
So you can see on Facebook who donated. You should be able to match the donation amount, but we also have the capability on the back end to confirm the name of that person if you would like additional information regarding that.
So how do I find out then if I don't see it on Facebook?
So if you don't see it on Facebook and there's not a clear link between the donation amount, we would be happy to look that up on the back end of our website for you.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Do we have any other questions regarding Facebook? Okay, awesome. We are going to switch back to our PowerPoint. Stay tuned, give me 1 second. Okay. Perfect. So I have shared my Facebook fundraiser. Now what? Now, in the original meeting invite that we sent out for this webinar, we included our fundraising toolkit. This is an example of a Facebook fundraiser post that you could put on your page. So I'm going to read it out for you guys. During this time of year, I would typically be training for Bike MS, Historic New Bern, or whatever your home ride is. Due to the impact of COVID-19, I am now participating in Bike MS Inside Out, a virtual fundraising event with an ambitious fundraising goal of $12 million to end the fight against multiple sclerosis. Although we are not able to gather in person this year, over 75,000 cyclists nationwide will be riding together to virtually support the National MS Society. I have set a personal goal of blank. Please consider supporting me in my fight against MS with the tax-deductible donation at the bottom link. Your donation helps provide programs and services for people affected by MS and funds cutting-edge research, putting us closer to our promise to stop MS in its tracks, restore lost function, and end MS forever. I hope that you will join me in my mission and to make an impact on this devastating disease. Now, remember, customizing this to your personal story makes a huge impact on your donors. And the reason why this is a shorter statement is that you want to be able to quickly grab somebody's attention as they're scrolling through their feed as to why they should support your cause.
Cole, can we get a copy of this, this one right here, the sample post?
Absolutely. So if you do see on the original meeting invite, this is included in our virtual fundraising toolkit, but I would be happy to go ahead and send you an extra copy of that. Would anybody else like that? Okay, just let us know in the chat if you would like another copy of that, and we would be happy to send it your way. Okay, so moving on to the donations tab. Here you guys can easily see who has contributed to your fundraising page. You can even directly send thank you notes using pre-written messages. So I have not received any donations to my fundraising page, but they would pop up on this screen here, and right next to it, it would say send a thank you. If you were to click that, then it would automatically populate a message that you could send to that donor. And you can see in the top of the donations tab here is how I got to this.
I've been using this for everyone, to thank each person. Only I go into that pre-written message and erase it all. I write my own message to every single person. But it's easy to just, delete that whole pre-written one and make your own. So.
Definitely. I love that you customize the message. It really makes an impact when you're thanking those donors for the recognition standpoint.
And it's not just thanking them for the donation, but some of them are people that I haven't seen for a while or anything, So I kind of make it like a little communication thing too, So.
I love that. Thank you so much for sharing.
Okay.
Awesome. So the next section that we are going to cover is the messages section. And again, this can be found using the black toolbar at the top. It's got a couple of different options that you can look at. The first thing is sent messages. And what you see here on the screen is compose a message. So you can choose a message type, and that will select a pre-populated message. As Sharon said, you can customize these to whatever you are trying to do. You can upload a contact list, and you can also change the subject of the email. And this is going to be a very professional looking email, so I highly recommend using something of this nature. Now we are going to be moving on to our virtual fundraising tips. But before we do that, did anybody have any more detailed questions about DonorDrive, the other exciting features that we have, or anything like that? Okay, awesome. So here are some creative, oh, what was that? Sorry.
Okay. When will we know something about checks?
Definitely. So checks, as we have shared, are having a delay of about 6 to 8 weeks right now. And that's due to a lot of offices being closed around the country from COVID-19. So there is a significant delay. We do recommend that you send in a donation tracking form. We have an updated version of that you can actually edit on the computer. And if you send it using the donation tracking form, it does expedite the process just a little bit.
Now, where's this tracking form?
We have not sent out the new one, but I would be happy to send it to you directly. And feel free to drop a note in the chat if anybody else would like our new tracking form as well.
Because I've been sending checks in regularly, but I have no idea. I mean, I know how much I send in, but I mean, there hasn't been anything, showing it. So, and will that ever be added to our total?
Yes,
I mean,
definitely.
that you can actually see.
Yes, we do have a delay on it being posted, but I can guarantee you that they will be added to the page.
Okay.
Awesome. Okay. And we will be sending a follow-up to everybody on the call with this information as well. Did anybody have any more questions regarding checks or anything like that? DonorDrive?
Well, I do have one more. I know of at least 3 pretty substantial donations that are coming through, like a fund.
Mm-hmm.
And is that going to show up online? I mean, people have been kind of asking me about it. Definitely. And at some point, is that going to show up on my page or not?
Yes, it definitely will. We are having delays just due to the office closures, but I would be happy to connect with you individually so that we can make sure all of those donations are properly represented on your page.
Okay. So you want me to get in touch with you then afterwards?
I can reach out to you. No worries.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. So some creative fundraising ideas. So we are encouraging you guys to fundraise virtually, just given the nature of everything that's going on. But as we said before, offering donor incentives is easier than ever. So you can actually add this to your page. Another example of that is for every $50 of a donation that you post a goofy video of you dancing to the donor's name. To make it even more fun, you can have the donor select what song they want you to perform to. You can also use your training miles to raise funds. Set a mileage and fundraising goal that you'd like to achieve, and then share that goal with your friends to encourage them to donate. For example, $1 may equal a mile. You can also create an online raffle. So you can gather raffle items such as gift certificates, booze, request an in-kind gift, or have tickets for sale, and host a Facebook Live, or you can use our new live streaming capabilities on DonorDrive to have a drawing to pull the winner. You can ask your friends to share your posts on social media. For example, your Facebook fundraiser will get a lot more traction if you ask your friends to share it for you. And you can also ask them to forward your emails. This is a great way to get donations. You can also offer your donors to deliver or pick up groceries for them in exchange for donations to your fundraising page. Does anybody else have any creative virtual tips before we move on? Awesome. Well, really quickly, before we move on to the question section of the webinar, I did want to share this. So some of you guys may have seen this in previous meetings that we've held, but I wanted to share it again because it really reiterates what we are going for at the National MS Society. We are not a bike ride. We are not an event planning company. We are the National MS Society, and we exist to change the lives for those affected by multiple sclerosis, and each of you are making that possible. I want to thank each of you for the role that you've played. You bring passion, persistence, and determination to raise funds for this very deserving cause. Without you, our organization would not be able to lead this effort in helping better those lives, and one day ending this disease forever. So now more than ever, people affected by MS need the support and connection to navigate their unrelenting challenges in an uncertain world. Now more than ever, people affected by MS need access to the medications and care they need to live well. Now more than ever, people affected by MS need to know that our progress towards a cure will continue with force. Now more than ever, people affected by MS need to do whatever it takes to fortify our movement during this time of crisis and ensure the health and well-being of all. Woo, that was a lot of information, guys. Thank you for sticking with me. But I would love to answer any in-depth questions that you guys have or anything of that nature.
Hi, this is Stu Winikoff. I have a question back on the incentive button. I don't know if I can do this, and I may have made a mistake on my page, but there's a mountain around this called Pilot Mountain, and what I wanted to say on the incentive is every time I raised $1,000, I would promise to climb that, not particularly in one day, but if I don't know how many times I'll be able to raise for each $1,000, I would climb the pilot. But anyway, my question is, if I put 1,000 there, I don't want somebody to think that they have to put $1,000. They can put any amount they want. So that's my question. Can I say they can put any amount they want to that goal?
Yes. So what you can do, I think that would be a great thing for a milestone type of thing. So let me share my screen really quickly. We'll pop this up on the website. So the great thing.
So I shouldn't be using incentives. I should be using milestones.
So I think, now that I'm saying that, I think that either one of them would work, but let me show you what you see. So we're going to go over the milestones really quickly. So like you said, each $1,000, you can set this, you can create multiples. So say I hit $2,000, and then you can do climb the mountain. and then that'll save the milestone. Oh. So
Okay, so
my fundraising goal.
So how do I say for each 1,000, or do I, have to put in one for each 1,000? The milestones, I'll climb it once for each 1,000. Is there a way to do that without putting in 10 of them or 20 or
Yes.
15? What I'm trying to achieve?
You can update that on your personal story. So I would recommend putting it there first. So you can have right here, you can edit all of this and you can say for each 1,000 miles, I will be climbing the mountain. And then additionally, if you did want to add it to your milestone section, you would have to add it individually for each one. So since I just updated my goal to reflect that, I can do $2,000,
Gotcha.
climb the mountain,
Okay.
milestone. And then that
So
will go up when
I can put 15 of them and it doesn't like mess up my page with a whole bunch of milestones.
No.
It'll just show one at a time as I reach them, or how does that show up on my page?
As you pass each milestone, those will go away, I believe. Is
Okay.
that right, Sammy?
They will still show up, so you'll be able to see all of the milestones. But here where you see next milestone, once you achieve a certain donation amount, then it'll automatically show the higher amount milestone that you've entered. But yeah,
all right. Well,
I'll
just say if I reach $5,000, I'll climb 5 times, and 10,000 10 times, and whatever. I'm not going to do 1,000 at a time. I don't know. So the incentives, whatever amount you put there, that's what they're expected to. So I had written it in the incentive, and I said for every 1,000, my total goal, I would climb this mountain. So when you put donation amount there, that's the minimum they have to. If I put 1,000 there, can somebody put in something less than that?
They can.
Go ahead. They definitely can. So this will just show up when people say make a contribution. It'll have a suggested amount and it'll say $1,000 incentive, climb the mountain. But they do not, there's a section to enter another amount if they wish to do so.
So, Stuart, are you only going to climb the mountain if somebody donates 1,000, or every time you reach 1,000, you will climb the mountain?
Yeah, every time I reach 1,000. So my first, if I get $5,000, I'm going to climb the mountain 5 times. Not the same day, but
I'll climb it with you. I've done it before. Hey,
$5,000, you should be climbing Mount Mitchell.
Huh?
This is at least this is close to my house. Okay,
I have a question about the virtual ride.
Yeah.
I'm planning on riding 100 miles in one day, but I'm not going to do it on that day. I was planning on doing it Wednesday, the 23rd. Mm-hmm. And then on the day that's the virtual thing, I would ride one of the other distances. But I still, I still want to do 100 miles, but I don't want to do it on a Saturday.
Definitely. So that is one of the most exciting things about Bike MS Inside Out. You can still use Strava if you choose to log your route using that application on Wednesday, the 23rd. And then the day of, you can share your different route that you're doing as well.
Okay.
So did we have any more questions?
What time is the virtual ceremony on that Saturday?
It starts at 10 a.m. And there will be rest stops and kind of different sections throughout the day.
Okay. And that's Eastern time, right?
Yes.
Okay, thanks.
One more question about Strava.
Mhm.
There's nothing, if we decide not to use it, that's okay, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. We are just partnering with them to provide a better virtual experience, but you feel free to do whatever suits what you've been doing in the past. That's my favorite thing about Bike MS Inside Out is you really get to build your own adventure.
Yeah. So if we use Strava, we're supposed to use their recommended route. I mean, I'm confused. What?
No, not necessarily. They will have suggested routes, of course, but of different distances. However, it just has a better integration with DonorDrive, being able to follow the leaderboard, things of that nature.
Strava is just more to be able to have a time to turn in, isn't it? A time and a distance?
So Strava focuses on distances, and then Zwift, the indoor cycling app, focuses on times that you're riding.
Okay. I mean, I've got a Garmin 130 on my bike that should be able to connect with Strava. I haven't used Strava before.
Yes, it should be able to.
Okay.
Yes, I have a Garmin 130 as well, and I use Strava all the time. It's should work fine.
So I just haven't ever used Strava. How do I make the connection? Just go into Strava or what?
You have to go into Strava, log in, and when it says there's a page for setup there, and it shows all the different devices you can connect to it, and Strava and Wahoo and a variety of them. You just need to connect to the
Okay.
Garmin one.
Okay.
It's as all things, it's not always that simple. It should be, but there's a million people though working with Strava and Garmin, so they pretty much have all the questions
Nothing
answered.
technical is ever simple for me.
Anytime you get two products working with each other is always a challenge sometimes, but Garmin is probably the most popular one that works with Strava, so they pretty much, if you have problems, customer support will sure help you. So I have a question for Cole. Is for the Raleigh area, is Strava got a route set up?
I
Is there anyone on there, or is?
I believe that it suggests different route options around your area. However, I do recommend you can follow those. You can follow a route familiar with if you know like the traffic levels on streets and things of that nature. So it has a lot of different capabilities to explore within the platform.
I have another question about more logistics. When we went to this new web page, I noticed that people that on the team that were registered before aren't there anymore. I'm sure we're not the only ones that had that happen. What's the easiest way to resolve that?
Definitely. So we, over the past couple of weeks, we have been activating people individually, and they do need to activate their new page just simply by logging in. So if they have not received an email to do so when we first launched our platform, we would be happy to reach out to those teammates individually, send them their login information, and they would be able to go from there. It's totally free and super simple. It just takes a couple extra clicks.
All right. I guess I don't have access to all these emails. Would the team captain have access to the emails of all the people on the roster?
We would be happy to send you a roster of your team if that works with you. And then we can show you which people are registered and which people are not yet.
That would be great, because I'm ready to put the hammer down, and if I have access to the emails, I'd rather personally attack it and then blast out some thing on Facebook that most people would ignore.
Definitely. And we do like to get people's consent before activating them. So if you were to send out an email to those not registering, just say, hey, if you reply yes to this email, we can activate you. That would be all that we need to get them set up.
Awesome. That sounds great.
Awesome. Do we have any other questions?
Well, I'd like to talk to Sammy Ammons afterwards. I think it's a separate question, so.
Okay, awesome.
Is Sammy still there?
So,
Yeah, Sharon, I'm still here. I'll give you a call.
Okay, all right, thank you.
okay, fantastic. Well, we will be posting this recording to YouTube shortly after this call. But if you guys have any other direct questions, feel free to reach out to me directly. You can respond to the calendar invite that you received or anything of that nature. But thank you guys so much for taking the time to join us today. We are so excited to have everybody join us for our first virtual event. It's going to be a blast. And if you guys have anything that you're doing Ride Weekend or anything of that nature, we would love to hear it. So I will be sending a follow-up to everybody who participated in this call, but thank you guys for taking time out of your day to join us.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks. Bye, Cole.
Bye, guys.
Thanks.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.